Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of MWN Weather Facts. I'm Kris Hardy with MemphisWeather.net, and today we're going to be talking about floods. So we're going to be talking about the contributing factors to a flood, how urban areas are very susceptible to flooding, and we're also going to be talking about some safety tips when it comes to floods. But first, let's talk about the difference between a flood watch, warning, and advisory. So when it comes to a flood watch, this is issued when conditions are favorable for flooding to occur. So a flood isn't happening, it's just the conditions are there for one to happen. Then a flood advisory. This is issued when flooding that is unlikely to pose a significant danger is occurring. So a flood is happening, but it's not a dangerous situation. But when a flood warning is issued, that is when the conditions of a dangerous flood are imminent or already occurring. So a flood is happening and it is also dangerous. So now let's talk about some factors that contribute to flooding. First of all, tropical moisture. Simply, this is just moisture that comes from the tropics. Very understandable there. The more tropical moisture that you have fueling your storm, the heavier rainfall that storm is going to produce over an area. Also, a slow-moving storm. We see this a lot, especially recently. We have seen slow-moving storms a lot in our area. That is just where light winds or a stationary front can hold a storm in one place for a long period of time, making heavier rainfall happen over an area. And then lastly, land use is a big contributing factor to flooding. It's just the way that humans have modified the natural landscape can affect how often or how much a flood will happen in a certain place. And that ties into urban areas and problems with flooding within urban areas. Because if you didn't know, urban areas are much more susceptible to flooding than a rural area might be. And we're going to talk about a few problems within urban areas when it comes to flooding. So first one is excessive runoff. So urban areas, they have much more buildings and asphalt, concrete, stuff like that. And the more buildings that are in an area, the more runoff you're going to have from storms. Since urban areas don't have much soil, they can can't soak up the water. It will overflow very quickly. So concrete and asphalt, they don't absorb rain just like soil would. And these surfaces we call impervious or water resistant. So water is very easily built up with heavy rainfall. And then going along with this, overwhelmed drainage systems are a big problem for urban areas. That's where, water that is not absorbed into the ground, it's going to run off into the drainage systems, but since majority of the precipitation is not absorbed in an urban area, it can lead to drainage systems exceeding their capacity and overflowing. So now let's talk about some flood safety if a flood is to occur in your area. So first big tip here is avoid driving. If you see an area in standing water, remember, turn around, don't drown. That's a big saying that you probably have heard before. So turn around, don't drown if you see standing water. Also, avoid walking or swimming through a flood. You might think that you're able to easily walk through water, but it only takes 6 inches of water to knock you off of your feet. So avoid walking or swimming through a flooded area. Also, stay off of bridges that are over high water because same concept here. A bridge can easily be knocked down by water, even though it doesn't seem like it could be. It is very, very easy to occur. So stay off of bridges when a flood is occurring. Also seek shelter on higher ground, maybe the second floor of your home if that's available for you. Just seek shelter if possible. But yeah, that is all I have for you guys. I hope you learned something new about flooding or some flood safety tips today. Again, I'm Kris Hardy with MemphisWeather.net. Thank you all for watching.